Yesterday, my wife completed a 36-week bodybuilding program. It's a baby girl, 8 pounds, 2 ounces. Today, I'm going to recap a 2020 action crime film called The Second. A trio of elite soldiers, under the command of Major Davis, are en route to the presidential establishment. Their objective is to swiftly extract the president in light of a bomb threat posed by a terroristic faction. Upon reaching their destination, Davis proceeds with leading the president to safety. During their escape, the president expresses his discontent regarding the subpar quality of the vehicle chosen for evacuation. In response, Davis justifies the choice of transportation as a strategic maneuver to mislead the terrorists, thereby concealing the president's presence within the car. Shortly afterwards, the president receives a call on his mobile phone. The moment he answers, an explosion transpires. Consequently, they come under assault from the terrorist unit. Davis prioritizes the president's security while his comrades engage in combat with the attackers. Amidst the firefight, the head of the terrorist group, donning an explosive vest, takes one of Davis' squad members captive. The terrorist demands a trade-off between his captive and the president. However, Davis' comrade activates the explosive attached to the terrorist leader's vest, resulting in their mutual demise. Fast forward 3 months, Davis is about to leave for his son's place, who is studying in another city. A few moments later, his wife approaches him, ensuring he has everything necessary for his journey. Prior to his departure, his wife requests a phone call, to which he agrees. However, he informs her that he will call from his son's phone due to his own being defective. The scene transitions to a university campus where we meet Davis' son, Shawn. The campus policy mandates all students to reside within the dormitories, permitting them to return home solely during term breaks. That particular afternoon, post a physical education class, the students prepare to return home as the semester break commences the following day. Once the class concludes, Shawn is approached by his friend Erin. As they engage in a pleasant conversation, their professor interrupts, reminding them to gather their belongings since the campus will be shut down later in the day. Later that afternoon, Shawn alerts Erin that they should leave soon, as they are the last ones on the campus. Upon hearing this, Erin inquires if Shawn would assist her with her packing. Simultaneously, at the campus entrance, a man sporting dark sunglasses is seen eliminating the security personnel. 2/3 of an hour later, a group of dubious individuals have congregated outside the university building. As it turns out, these individuals were sent to abduct Erin, who is the progeny of a Supreme Court judge named Walton. Following the dispatch of all the security officers, the man, identified as Melvin, directs his crew to promptly execute their respective assignments, while he assumes the role of Erin's chauffeur, as purportedly dispatched by her father. Erin and Shawn descend the stairs and are greeted by Melvin, who introduces himself as the new chauffeur appointed by Erin's father. Concurrently, Davis makes his appearance at the campus entrance, where he is stopped by a member of the abductors' squad disguised as a security guard, who swiftly alerts the others of Davis' presence. Shawn appears elated upon seeing his father, considering their last encounter was 6 months prior. Just as Erin is about to board her vehicle, she recalls leaving her laptop behind in her room. Upon noticing Erin, Davis inquires Shawn about her identity, to which Shawn reveals that she is Erin, the offspring of a Supreme Court justice. Davis expresses his surprise, having not anticipated the daughter of a Supreme Court justice attending this particular university. Davis proposes waiting for Erin's return from her room before departing, given that Erin and Shawn are the only students yet to vacate the campus. Davis begins to notice something peculiar. His suspicions are heightened upon observing the janitorial staff, whose demeanor appeared odd and out of place. He then requests Shawn to await his return in the car, while he ventures upstairs to discuss the new driver situation with Erin. Upon reaching her, he advises Erin to verify with her father if he did indeed arrange for a new driver. During the phone conversation, Erin's father denies having dispatched a new driver, abruptly followed by a disconnection of the call. After ascertaining that Erin's father did not send a new driver, Davis urges Erin to swiftly evacuate the campus with him. Suddenly, the building plunges into darkness. Approaching the window, Davis notices a woman standing on guard outside. He eventually deduces that all the individuals he had observed were conspiring to abduct Erin. He advises Erin to maintain her calm and remain as close to him as possible. As they navigate their way out of the dormitory, Erin's phone unexpectedly rings. Answering it, she discovers Melvin on the other end. Melvin, having realized that Erin and Davis are aware of his intentions, instructs Erin to hand the phone over to Davis. He asserts that his squad has effectively encircled the area, compromising all the campus access points and networks. He suggests Davis surrender Erin to him immediately, promising in return to spare Davis and his son. Rather than succumbing to fear, Davis courageously defies him, vowing never to hand over Erin under any circumstances. Meanwhile, at the residence of the Supreme Court Justice, Erin's father is engaged in a game of pool when his bodyguard informs him of the imminent arrival of the CIA director. The justice instructs his bodyguard to grant him entry. The CIA director, identified as Phillippe, outlines the purpose of his visit, seeking the judge's perspective on an imminent trial set to occur within a few days. It is mentioned that a legislative amendment is under consideration, and only Judge Walton's opinion could validate said amendment. The upright judge sternly declines Phillips' proposition. Following his rejection, Phillippe ominously forewarns that Erin, his offspring, would be subjected to a horrific ordeal should he fail to meet his demands. Shawn grows increasingly anxious due to the prolonged absence of his father and Erin, and subsequently decides to seek them out. Upon reaching the upper level, he encounters an abductor in the guise of a janitor. Unaware of the impending danger, Shawn discloses his intent to locate his father and Erin, who are believed to be within the campus premises. The imposter feeds him a fabricated story, claiming to have seen them upstairs, and offers to guide Shawn to them. However, during the elevator ride, the man attacks Shawn from behind. Luckily, Davis and Erin arrive just in time. Davis succeeds in incapacitating the man, seizing his handheld transceiver and firearm in the process. Davis then escorts Shawn and Erin to the campus library. He instructs them to remain there until his return, as he plans to confront the abductors. Before departing, he entrusts them with the handheld transceiver and gun he had previously confiscated. Shortly after, an abductor steps into the elevator, and upon spotting 2 mobile phones on the ground, he retrieves them, providing Davis with the opportunity to ambush him. After securing the man, Davis relocates him to a room on the upper level for interrogation. Davis attempts to contact the authorities for assistance, but is unsuccessful due to the campus network being compromised. Observing Davis momentarily distracted, the captive bald man lunges at him, only to be overcome by Davis, who ultimately leaves him lifeless. Meanwhile, the orchestrator of the abduction, Melvin, who is unveiled to be a CIA agent, eventually uncovers Davis' identity. He is taken aback to discover that Davis holds the rank of a major in the esteemed Special Forces and has led troops in the Bosnian, Somali, and Kosovo conflicts. Davis was even responsible for single-handedly neutralizing 5 adversaries during the Somali War. Upon this revelation, Melvin cautions his men to exercise heightened vigilance, recognizing that Davis is no ordinary opponent. The scene returns to the library, where Erin and Shawn are concealed. Upon noticing Shawn's wounded hand, Erin insists on taking him to the infirmary for treatment. Upon their arrival, Erin tends to Shawn's injury. Concurrently, outside the infirmary, the man who had previously attacked Shawn regains consciousness and recommences his mission. As he approaches the infirmary, he is confronted by Shawn, which triggers a scuffle between them. Despite feeling outmatched, Shawn gains an unexpected advantage when Erin intervenes, inflicting injury to the man's face. In retaliation, the man lashes out at Erin, causing her to fall to the ground. Witnessing Erin's injury, Shawn brandishes his gun at the man. The man capitulates under gunpoint, but Shawn decides to spare him. In another part of the campus, Davis is engaged in combat with 2 of Melvin's henchmen and manages to defeat them both with relative ease. Erin and Shawn attempt to return to the library, but their efforts are thwarted when Erin is apprehended by one of Melvin's accomplices disguised as a security officer. Shawn points his weapon at the imposter, but unexpectedly, Davis fires a long-distance shot, hitting and eliminating the man. Davis then implores them to evacuate the campus promptly. Suddenly, the physical education teacher, whom we saw at the onset of the film, emerges from his room. Shawn informs him of the ongoing siege and emphasizes the urgency of their departure. Davis inquires about an alternative escape route apart from the main entrance. The teacher advises that an old lift in the building could serve as a viable option. Upon reaching the lift, they face persistent gunfire from Melvin's cohorts. Davis suggests that the three of them take the elevator while he counters the assault. However, Shawn is unwilling to abandon his father and opts to aid him, leaving Erin and the teacher to proceed with the initial escape plan. Much to Erin's astonishment, upon exiting the building, she encounters Melvin and one of his men awaiting them. It becomes apparent that the teacher was in collusion with Melvin's group. The treacherous teacher demands compensation from Melvin after surrendering Erin, but meets his demise instead. Melvin commands his team to plant explosives in the elevator, knowing that Davis and Shawn are directly above. In the upper levels, upon spotting the bomb in the elevator, Davis moves swiftly to evade it. Supreme Court Justice Walton, deeply distressed about his daughter's well-being, receives a video from Phillippe, revealing Erin's dire circumstances as a captive. Overcome by anxiety for his daughter's safety, Justice Walton feels compelled to succumb to Phillips' demands. Phillippe then instructs him to arrive at a specific location alone. Remarkably, Davis and Shawn survive the explosion. Davis instructs Shawn to pursue Erin, while he neutralizes a sniper atop the building. As soon as Shawn spots Erin being whisked away by Melvin, he instinctively embarks on a motorcycle chase. Davis manages to catch up by leaping onto a vehicle driven by Sproule, one of Melvin's men. Amidst the pursuit, Shawn is shot by Melvin and subsequently captured. Concurrently, Davis is engaged in a skirmish with Sproule and additional members of Melvin's gang. Eventually, he overpowers them and discovers a GPS revealing the location of Justice Walton, who happens to be in the vicinity. Shortly after, he intercepts Justice Walton's vehicle and presents a note assuring him of his assistance. The pair then swiftly set off to rescue Shawn and Erin. Upon reaching the site where Shawn and Erin are held captive, Justice Walton proceeds alone. One of Phillips' henchmen approaches to inspect him. Justice Walton then bolts, coinciding with an abrupt explosion. Davis makes his entrance, weapon at the ready, prepared to eliminate each one of Phillips' henchmen. With ruthless precision, Davis dispatches Phillips' men one after another. Simultaneously, Shawn retaliates by confronting one of Phillips' henchmen. Upon overpowering him, he is immediately confronted by more of Phillips' crew, sparking another violent encounter. Thankfully, Shawn manages to reverse the tide of battle, successfully subduing all of his adversaries. Shawn then races to rescue Erin, who is on the brink of being transported onto a ship. Erin is being coerced by one of Phillips' armed men, but Shawn fortuitously manages to intervene and liberate her. Shortly thereafter, Supreme Court Justice Walton arrives on the scene, hastily escorting them to a secure location. Concurrently, at a separate location, Davis is locked in combat with Melvin. Inadvertently, Davis' weapon strikes a gas pipe, causing a leak. Recognizing the imminent risk of an explosion, Davis evacuates the area post-haste. Eventually, the gas detonates, with Melvin still in proximity. Following this, Davis swiftly makes his way to Shawn and Erin, ensuring their safety. The following day, Phillippe receives an unexpected visit at his residence from Melvin, who miraculously survived the previous night's explosion. Melvin informs him that he is seeking payment as per their agreement. However, Phillippe refutes his request, stating that Davis has thwarted their scheme and he refuses to compensate him. In response to this revelation, Melvin shoots him dead. The scene transitions to a hospital setting, where Davis is at the bedside of his injured son, Shawn. He gifts his watch to Shawn, elaborating that it was presented to him by President Clinton as a token of gratitude for his successful execution of numerous perilous missions for the nation. Davis also shares the inspiring message the president conveyed when he gifted him the watch. "When you wear this, I want you to think about the lives you saved, not the ones you took." Shortly afterwards, Erin visits Shawn, much to his delight. Davis then leaves them together. As the movie concludes, a man appears holding Davis' wife hostage. If you enjoyed this video, don't be shy to hit the like button, and if you disliked it, hit the dislike button twice, just to be sure. It would be best if you watched the whole movie. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe for more videos like this.